Yeah, I mean, first of all, you gotta sit there and look at the talent, right? There is a lot of athletes there and talent, and the youth always brings some inconsistency, some real high highs that you hope you can stay away from with certain guys having a big night, but it's one of the games that you gotta put in a professional performance. You got to play it over the course of the game. The game will probably take some ups and downs, but you got to, kind of stick with it, and hopefully you can make your defensive stand or a stretch of consecutive stops at some point to discourage them a little bit.
A couple of guys, I know Monk is out, but Bridges and Bryant.
Yep.
What have you seen or liked from them? What scares you about them?
Well, Bridges has got the in and out game, right? He'll hit the three ball and they'll post him on any switches, right, immediately, and he's got the capability to hurt you both ways. It makes it tough because they'll go to that a lot as kind of a go-to action. And then Graham's just had a great year. His explosiveness, his shooting, his transition play, just this kind of confidence and guts that he's had to raise up to be that kind of scorer and player this year has been pretty impressive.
Is he a guy you might consider as a master?
I would say so. Again, I'm not very good at that kind of stuff, right? At keeping track of who's doing well in those areas, but I have heard some talk about that, and he's certainly been a big surprise, right? So that gets him in the conversation probably because of the big jump up that he's made.
Nick, when we talk about Matt Thomas, obviously everybody goes right to the three-point shooting. But,
Yep.
I mean, you've talked a number of times this year about other areas of his game that have taken off. Where have you seen the biggest growth outside of the three?
Well, the biggest thing I think that he does for being, he's certainly earmarked as a shooter, and when he comes in, everybody knows that's what he's going to do, but he still gets the ability to get a high volume of them off in the minutes that he plays. So, you gotta, where does that come from? Well, that comes from a lot of footwork, a lot of speed, a lot of misdirection, a lot of coming off screens the proper way. There's a lot of things that go into doing that. It just isn't like, it's just happening. So there's a bunch of stuff he's worked on there. All the preparation, shot preparation leading into getting those shots. I would say too that it's kind of not really answering your question, but he has extended his range a bit, and that has been a big factor too, because he's able to, I think you're going to get guarded hard at the line, but if you step back 5 or 7 feet, do you still have the range to make those? And I think he's continuing to improve on that. He's working on his escape moves, getting a little more separation when he gets the ball, a little bit like Redick would do. He comes off and he's guarded, and then he sets it out there to the side and goes and chases it again and escapes and separates from the guy and gets the shot. So shot prep's pretty good. Other side of the ball, don't really notice him being a big problem. He plays great team defense. He plays hard. He's not afraid to go up and challenge and pressure the ball, and that's what we've wanted him to do. So he's been good. They try to go at him a little bit, and I haven't really noticed it being a big problem.
Obviously, he's not at the top of other teams' scouting reports, but they've got to know how great of a shooter he is.
Yeah.
Have you seen a difference in the way teams are approaching him, defending him as the season has gone on?
Not really. I think again, I'm not so sure he gets to the scouting report sometimes because he doesn't play for 4 games. It's hard to. And even when you're doing that and you've already gone through 9 guys and you're trying to squeeze those last couple guys in at the end, that usually the players aren't paying attention by then anyway.
Is that a pretty nice opportunity for
No, I don't know. No, but they certainly know, and it's not unlike sometimes that a guy will come in that hasn't played forever, and and the guys are immediately asking, hey, we didn't cover this guy in the scout. Who is he? What's he do? And you're saying, well, shooter. You got to press up on him, and they're going to get some information to him. But again, he's getting some in transition. He's getting some set calls. He's finding the random ones here and there. But it's good. It's good to have shooting out there. I think it's impacted some of the games. I know the game where we won by a whole bunch was Indy was. That was a switch we made to start the fourth. We went with more shooting, and that busted that game open, really, and I think it had the same effect the other night. Again, go ahead.
It seems like he works a closely with Brittany Donald.
Yep.
How have you seen her influence his improvement?
Well, she's good. I mean, one thing I like about Britt is she's a shooter herself, right? I don't know if you guys have ever seen her shoot, but she was a gunner in college, and she's probably the second best shooter on the staff, coaching staff.
Should we add?
It's in the water, man.
Okay.
It's in the water. Northern Iowa.
Yeah,
No, I'm just kidding. I'm totally kidding. Anyway, so she's got some of that in her. I think that, like, when you're a coach that's had that in part of your growing up or part of your game, even as a college player or whatever, you understand there's some mechanics, there's some work, there's a rhythm to practice, there's some lonely moments. You know, you got to spend a lot of time in the gym, right? And I think she's good, done good with being able to connect with him there, and they put in the work together, as you guys see a lot.
Did you see that month off helping him in any way? Like, I mean, it was a lot of work on the side. Like, did you see a different guy coming back from that?
I don't know. I mean, I'm sure it helped him. I think it's always helped our guys. And again, we always try to do some project to take advantage of those times off and do some projects. And most of them revolve around some type of shooting or mechanics or range or footwork or whatever that leads to hopefully some improved play. And he did get a lot of time to work. Did get a lot of time to work, and looks like it paid off a little bit. Yeah, probably. I think yeah, probably. I'm just trying to think of what to say. I think I get into these rotations, and the games seem to be going pretty well a lot. When you're winning, what do we win? 13 in a row or something like that, and you don't see a need to go outside that. But then you end up having to, or finding a situation where you do, and you say, well, maybe this will make us better anyway. So, yeah, probably.
It's been a few games now, but like, how would you assess? You mentioned kind of getting Siakam more reps, kind of getting the ball for him. How would you assess how it's
Well, I think it's been pretty good. I'm not so sure we got it done in the last game as well as we probably wanted to, but games before, I think, there's been a lot of, even in that long winning streak, there was a bunch of close games there that he was really, really making all those great decisions in the fourth quarter via scoring or passing. So we're okay. We got. There's always more reps we'd like to get. See if we can keep an eye on that a little bit.
Nice to see Norm doing a bit more.
Norm was practicing today. Cleared to practice. Still be on the questionable list for tomorrow, but
Always cleared for contact.
you're saying there's a chance tomorrow. Yeah? No, Mark's still out. He did do some light stuff at the beginning of practice today, so he's making progress, but he's still out. Good.
Thank you.
Okay, everybody.